Yeah, welcome. So, how much revenue is required to cover the cost of the operations of a business? So that's what is called break even. So let's try and practice that in Excel. So let's assume a business has a fixed cost of 20 20,000, and the selling price per unit, that's 50. Let's say it's 50, and the variable cost per unit, that's the cost that changes per unit. That's 30. Let's say it's 30. So firstly, to get the break even, we first have to get our contribution margin, and the contribution margin is the selling price minus the variable cost. So the contribution margin, as the contribution margin is just like let's say profit. So profit 50 minus that's this minus this is like profit before, like contribution margin is like profit before taking into account the fixed cost. So that's 20. So the break even point that's in units. So break even point in units, that's going to be the fixed cost divided by the contribution margin. So that's this divided by this. So that's 1,000. So let's try and get the break-even point amount, like the real revenue required to like cover the cost of the operations of the business. So that's the break-even point in revenue. Yeah, let's name it that. So that will be the break-even point in units. Oh, sorry. That would be the break-even point in units multiplied by the selling price per unit. So that's 50,000. So let's try and use a shell to understand it better. But we need the data. Let's insert some data here. Let's say units, then total revenue, then total cost. Okay, total revenue, total cost. So let's assume starting unit of 0. So we know the total revenue will be the unit multiplied by the selling price per unit. So to be 0, since the unit is 0. So we know the total cost. So the total cost will be the fixed cost plus the variable cost and the number of units. So that's the fixed cost is 20,000 plus 10 plus the variable cost. Then the variable cost will be 30 multiplied by the number of units. Because variable cost is the cost that changes with number of units. So yeah, so that's 20,000 since the number of units is 0 and the fixed cost is 20,000. So let's put some data here. Let's see number of units 100, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,000, so 1,4. Well, 1,4. Okay. So the formula we put here should work for all this also. Sorry. Oh no, okay. Wow, okay. Let me just put 50 here. That's units times the selling price, which is selling price per unit, which is 50. So let's put it down. Yeah. So that's so let's try and visualize it with the data so we can understand it better. Let's try and understand. Okay. Line charts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So based on our chart here, the break-even point is, let's see. So it's where the line meets, where the total revenue and total cost line meets. That's the break-even. So the break-even here is 50,000. So it's just the same as break-even point revenue recalculated. So it means it's correct. I hope you find it useful.